Nene here. Welcome to Texas. I thought I would start this off with some of my health issues that I have. Today I was going to vlog at Starbucks and also at Target a little bit, but some of my health issues just wore me out sooner than I expected. My first one I'm going to start with, I think, is my diabetes. Now, I was diagnosed in 1997 with diabetes. The first sign that I had was that my right big toe was going numb, and I was drinking a lot, going to the restroom a lot, and went into the regular doctor. And at this time, I was about 29, I believe. And the doctor had to go through a test that I'm not sure you have to do anymore, but you had to drink this really dark, thick liquid that was almost like a Coke that was very flat and sweet. And you had to drink it, wait 2 hours, then they checked your blood. You had to drink another one, and this went on 3 times. But the next time you only had to wait an hour, and the next time 30 minutes. So then I was diagnosed with diabetes because my sugar was, beyond the range that it should have been. Now, when you first get diagnosed with diabetes, I've spoken with a lot of diabetics, and I know in my case, you don't want to admit that you actually have diabetes because, when you're young and you're thinking about life, you're thinking about all the things you're going to miss out on, the ice cream, the cake, the chips, all the junk you really don't need, and you find that out when you get older. But I really did not want to believe, sorry, I have something on my lip, really did not want to believe that I had diabetes because it would change my life so much. At the time I was married, I still am married. That sounded funny. Yes, I was married in 1992 to my husband, Scott, and he just was so encouraging. Even though he really didn't know much about diabetes, he was willing to, help me out by buying things that we shouldn't. And we were poor, so it wasn't too hard. But both my parents had diabetes also, but they didn't get diagnosed until they were in their late 50s. I guess around in their early 50s, because they didn't know much about diabetes, as I was growing up and as my parents were raising us. The thing that my doctor told me was I probably had diabetes, undiagnosed diabetes, for about 10 years back. So probably about in 87, which is a few years after I graduated high school. I probably acquired it because I didn't work out as much as I used to. In high school, I pretty much worked out all the time. Ran, played basketball, volleyball. So it was kind of, you didn't have to worry about it too much because you were running so much. You were active so much that most everything burned off. But I noticed that after I started working, going to school and working, that I was, I guess looking back, I could see that I was starting to have some issues. Anyway, I have several other health issues, large ones that I will address in other vlogs, but diabetes was the main one I wanted to now. Anytime you get sick, have an infection, anything like that, it affects your diabetes. It makes your sugar just, rise and almost uncontrollable, because there's nothing you can do really to bring it down unless you take, lots of insulin. Because really, when you're sick, your sugar is going to spike. There's certain medications that can make it spike. I know I was in the hospital about 6 weeks ago when my sugar shot up, and I'll talk about that in detail later. But it was because I had an infection. And so when that happens, your sugar's going to go up, and it was near almost 600. And so we've had a hard time getting it back under control, but I'm on a new medication now. It's called Victoza, and it's a pen shot that you twist it up to the amount you're supposed to have, and then you inject it. And it seems to be working really well. It is an expensive medication, but I got a card from my doctor. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. I have a card. Excuse me, let me just sip some Texas tea. And that was Coke Zero, by the way, not real Coke. So, where was I? I was, Victoza. It's a medication that I had taken before, but it was so expensive that I couldn't afford it. And now, since I have a card from my doctor, it can only be up to $25 because it's like a $400 pen. And it's ridiculous. The medications that you really need are the ones that seem to be the most expensive. And a lot of people, I'm blessed that my husband's job has insurance and everything, so that, I can get the medication that I need. And sometimes, because I have so much, it is difficult. We have to choose, between things so that I can get my medicine. And my husband is just amazing with that, because, everything is me first. He always wants me to take care of myself first before him. And, it may not be right, and I hate it, because I want him to do some stuff, but things are, even with insurance, can be very expensive with the deductibles today. But feel free to leave any questions you might have about diabetes. And if I don't know, I will definitely look it up. Today, I don't know if that it was the diabetes itself that wore me out today before I wanted to be. But between it and the other issues I have, they kind of work together to try and push me down. And I just want to stay strong because, you can't, you choose how you want to be that day, how you want to feel. You can choose to be gripey, you can choose to be cranky, or you can choose to be happy. And, I am a Christian, and I believe in the power and the prayer of, in power and prayer. And Jesus is the only way I can make it through this, and my friends and family that pray for me. And so just leave below too if you want prayer. I'd be more than happy to pray for you, put you on my list, and everybody gets prayed for. And God is good. He always makes things better. Even if you're going through rough times, painful times, you feel sick all the time, He gives you, people like your husband, boyfriend, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, whoever, to help you you know, get through it, to have somebody there with you and praying for you. So anyway, if you have any more questions, please, I can address this subject again. And then I'll have some other ones up also. So please leave your comments below. Don't forget to click a like on my video and subscribe, and also hit the little bell so you'll be notified when I put up a new post. And I've really enjoyed talking with you guys. This talking is kind of therapy for me, talking things out, you know, working things out. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your questions and comments. So until I see you next time in my next video, y'all be blessed.